What's up, guys? I am going live. Today I'm talking about my story, how I got into relationship coaching. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at the same time, so gang. This is take 2 of the video, the first one cut off. But I'm not going to take up much of your time. How I got into relationship coaching. This was requested a lot by Instagram. So Facebook, you guys, some of you guys have known me for a really long time if you're on Facebook, or if you're just OG watching on the gram. So some of you guys know a little bit about this story, but I do want to put it out there because, again, it kind of came out of left field. For those of you who don't know, especially from some of my new followers on Instagram, I used to be a fitness coach, like full out online fitness. I was group fitness. I was personal training. I lived, breathed, ate fitness. And now I teach group fitness classes on the side because it lights me up. It's my freaking birthday today, and I still taught a class, right? But it's more of something that I just kind of do on the side, and my passion is with relationships and intimate relationships, helping people in that way. So it's, like I said, been requested that I share this story, and how I got into it is pretty. I'm only 25, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, how are you so wise for your age?" I'm like, "Thanks. It's all the trauma, like literally." So I got started with my quest on love, I should say, very early. I was an early riser with love, I guess you could say. Kindergarten. Yeah, what was her name? Lauren. That's right. Her name was Lauren in kindergarten. And I remember I expressed my love to her. I kissed her on the hand at PE one time, or recess, I guess it was back then. And I got punished for it, actually. Got put in timeout, like couldn't have recess for the rest of the day. Got put on the bench. And I made that up in my head to mean that if I expressed my love, if I expressed myself, I would get punished. And so there's no coincidence that I grew up with extreme social anxiety. I had a few friends that I was myself around, but besides that, like I really wasn't I was crippled with shyness. It kind of controlled me. My escape was video games. I struggled in school in terms of my grades, but also like socially, and super heavily medicated for ADD, ADHD, sleep apnea, allergies, asthma, breathing treatments, inhalers, like all this shit. I had to take like extra tutoring classes and all that stuff to catch my grades up. And again, it was just because I couldn't pay attention, but I was also eating like crap. And eventually I found fitness. I hit a threshold. I was like, fuck it, enough's enough. These people that are telling me like that their friends were treating me like shit. And I finally was just like, I need to hit a reset. And for me, that was fitness. And I found fitness, and that was my escape. I dove all into it with P90X, started at home, got shredded as fuck. And then everybody's like, oh my God, like all the people that used to pick on me are asking me for advice now. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But I kind of found a purpose in service and serving people in that time. And so I became a Beachbody coach, which, if you guys know, is network marketing, and had an amazing time in that company for 4 years. And I still do Beachbody workouts to this day. I did P90X2 today. Shout out. And, fitness really did save my life in a lot of ways, but it also created a dark space in a lot of ways, because you see that about the time where I started in my fitness journey, I was working on myself, and I was also in a network marketing company, so I was learning entrepreneurship and all these other things. Around that time is when I first fell in love. Well, I wouldn't say first, because you guys know that kindergarten was my first, but my first girlfriend, if you will. And we were together, I would say 3 years, almost 4 years maybe. And I actually proposed to her. We were engaged. And we were like, literally people would tell me, oh my God, like I want a relationship like yours. And I was just, it was, I didn't know any different. It was absolutely amazing. And, it was that love that it was just fairy tale-esque, you know what I mean? And then I leave to go to this personal development event, come back, here's the ring, and dump me. Left me for another man. Now, I don't hold a grudge against her. I actually forgiven her. We've talked. But in my head, the woman that helped me to uncover more of myself, to break through my shyness, and to become more me, told me to my face that she never believed in me and it was all a lie. So I didn't know what to believe, which put me in a suicidal depression for about a month. And a really good friend of mine gave me a book called Wild at Heart that literally changed and saved my life. And that was my first dose of learning about love and relationships, because I was like, I got obsessed with, why did that happen? There were zero signs of it. There were zero signs of her leaving. It just happened in a weekend, from my perspective at least. So if there was no signs of it and it just happened, how did this happen? Why did this happen? And then it also kind of woke me up to like, wow, there's a lot of people that aren't really getting the love they want. And so I was still pursuing fitness. I got into my personal group fitness certifications, and I dove into gyms. Never stepped foot in a gym before, but I got certified to teach group fitness, and now I'm teaching group fitness classes. And my first class was in front of 40 people, if you can believe that. It was absolutely an out-of-body experience. The shy kid teaching group fitness class to 40 people. What? But it happened, and I dove in head first, and had amazing community and support, and like I said, it really saved my life and changed a lot of things. And I still teach. That's why I still teach group fitness. So for all you OGs that are going to my classes, you guys rock. But then within that fitness, while I was pursuing fitness, I was also researching on love like a freaking madman. I studied more books on love than I did in relationships and masculine, feminine energies, all that stuff, and life coaching or personal development than I did the human body and fitness and nutrition. But I was still doing it, and I was very successful at it, and did group fitness for a really long time. I was teaching 24 classes a week, doing fitness shows and physique competitions and all that jazz. And then I had another breakup. I met another chick. It was all in the DL. Then all of a sudden she left me for this other guy, but blamed me for it. And I internalized it all. I'm a lover, so I just fucking believed it. And it really put me in a dark spot for about a year and a half. For those of you guys who've seen any of my recent posts, it's I talked about that on there. And so I believed in that all I do is hurt people. I believed in that I just mess everything up. I believed in that I'm not lovable, a piece of shit. And so I secluded myself, and kind of just withdrew from a lot of friendships, a lot of really good relationships in my life, and just got stuck in my head and went all into fitness. And this is where part of why I'm not in fitness anymore. What's up, guys? This is part of why I'm not in fitness anymore, is because it taught me a lot about life, respect, hard work, dedication, devotion, discipline, but it also became very toxic. My discipline in fitness looked like discipline from the outside. I was fucking shredded. I was doing all these crazy push-up shit. Like people were like, I had an insane level of fitness, but it was very dark in my head because it was self-suppression. It wasn't really a form of it wasn't rooted in love. It was, you don't fucking deserve it, motherfucker. Work. Like, it was grind. It was push. It was, I don't care how you feel, you're going to do it. Which is healthy to some degree, but there was zero self-respect in there. It was just beating myself up to look good. Which, how many times does that show up, right? Where you're trying to prove yourself for love, because that's what I was doing. Any addiction is a plea for love. And right, on Instagram, they're saying it wasn't freedom. That it was very toxic, and I had adrenal fatigue, burnt out. I was addicted to caffeine, having over 900 milligrams of caffeine a day. It was really bad. And around that time as well, I was just in a bad spot. I was actually living out of my car, didn't have money for food, on the streets in Dallas, Texas, because I upped and left. Just wanted to hit a reset button again. But I was still in this beat up mode. And then I had a huge shift with my finances and in terms of abundance. And I just, that same mindset shifted to work instead of the gym. And I beat myself up even more. And this is all, now mind you, this is all coming from what I believed myself to be because of a breakup that happened a year and a half before. Okay? And when I dove into work and I realized I need to make fucking money because you're homeless, you piece of shit. That's what was happening, right? So what did I do? I picked up 4 jobs. I was working 19 hours a day, sleeping 4 hours a night, 7 days a week for 2 months straight. That's not a hyperbole. That's not an exaggeration. That's what fucking happened. And I was able to get my own place in Dallas, Texas. I was able to furnish it. I went from very quickly having all the time in the world and no money to all the money in the world and no time. And I realized this ain't it. So something's got to fucking change. And in that time, I had another relationship. And mind you, in a lot of this, I don't really date around. This was divine guidance. Our paths crossed for a unique reason, a unique purpose. And I've learned a lot from each one of my relationships. And I love every single one of them deeply. Some of them I still talk to this day. This week I've even talked to some of them. So I don't hold grudges is what I'm like against these people, even though hurt people is all I'm going to say. Okay. I've done a lot of work with forgiveness and letting it go. And that's a lot of the work I do with my clients, because you can't have a new experience of love if you're holding on to past shit. So now I'm in Dallas. I'm rocking and rolling, doing the fitness thing. And now I'm no more online. Okay, so I just did personal training and group fitness. And that was my source of income. And then I dropped all the others. I was a bartender and a server and a few other things. And I just dropped that because I needed to kind of breathe. Got into another relationship that was very healing. I for the first time, started to look internally, and for the first time started to search for self-love, and realized some toxic behaviors that I had, with beating myself up. And really, it was self-hatred. So then that relationship ended. And when it did, I was kind of, felt like it was the right decision. But I had to basically drive a knife into my heart, because even though I still was in love with her at the time, I ended it. I knew it wasn't going to be forever. So I was just, it was like I love you more, so I'm not going to drag this along type of a thing. And one thing that she really taught me was to look into the future and see how things would play out in the future. And I looked at my current situation with my work, with personal training and group fitness, and I was like, I can't travel, have vacation, live. I can't do shit. Like, I'd have to live in the fucking gym. And guess what? That's what I was doing. And I said, fuck that. And so I created Kevin Crenshaw Fitness around this time last year? No, 2 years ago. Around this time 2 years ago. Damn. And launched my first program. Then I was an online coach, did that, blew it out of the water, was able to drop personal training and just do group fitness with Equinox out in Dallas. Shout out, homies. And that I kept that grind up for quite a while until the end of 2017. Then when my grandfather passed away, I had to go to Memphis for the funeral and everything. And then coming back from that, I almost just had a fresh look on life. And I was like, because he was the first person in my life that I've really lost to death. Except for my great-grandfather, but I barely knew him. And that was like in middle school. And that's a story in and of itself, because he was a World War II survivor, didn't tell his story to anybody, not even his daughter. Then I had to interview a veteran for a school project. I interviewed him, and 2 days later he died. Like, and you're saying that you don't believe in energy. Like, his heart was holding on to that. He let it go. And that was that. That's fucking nuts. Anyway. So, grandfather passed away, go back to Dallas, reset button. I'm re-looking my entire life. And I finally think, I just figured out, like, I think my time here's up. But I don't know what's next. And I'm still doing this fitness thing, but it was kind of starting to get dull. I started to feel like in me that it wasn't me. I was kind of like forcing myself to produce content. I was forcing myself to keep working out and to serve clients. It was a hassle to work, and that wasn't how it was previously. So I then didn't really know. It was a weird time. I had a huge party in Toronto with a ton of my friends. Shout out if you're watching. And after I got back from that trip, I came back to my apartment in Dallas to mold in my apartment. That sucks. Well, I was like, well, do I just stay here or do I move apartments? What do I do? And I was like, you know what? My time's up. I think I'm going to move. And so I meditated on it a little bit. And I was like, I don't know where I'm going to move. Nothing's really calling me, because Dallas called me. Like, when I left Memphis to go to Dallas, there was zero reason for it. I just was like, Dallas, I need to go to Dallas. It was just like a heart thing. So I was trying to wait for that. Wasn't getting it. I was talking to my friend. I think it was either Kimberly or Nick. I don't know which one of you guys it was. And they were like, why don't you just travel the world? And I'm like, I could do that. 2 days later, I cut my lease, sold everything, packed a suitcase, and got a one-way ticket to Toronto. And just literally to travel the world. And now, mind you, in all of that time with the transition that happened there, I also met another woman, and we were a thing, not technically a relationship, but it was very toxic. It was very hard, very hot and cold, very push and pull, and I was chasing. And it got to a point where Valentine's Day last year actually was the pinnacle of it. And then she basically ghosted me, rightfully so for other reasons. But in that time, I was like, fuck it, I deserve better. Like, I deserve better for me. And in this space of traveling the world with zero like ties down to the earth, I was in a very prime state to find me and define me. And that's what I did a lot of 2018. And so I finally said, you know what? I deserve better. So I didn't reach out, but in my head, I was like, fuck her. Like, fuck it. I deserve somebody who's going to choose me, who's not going to play fucking games, right? You've been there? And then 3 days later, I met this other chick that was all of that stuff. And we had a very short relationship because I realized I jumped into it to fill a void from the previous relationship. And I didn't love her because I loved her, even though I do, and I deeply did. I almost jumped into it to like prove something. It was weird. But again, everything happens for the greater good. She's married now and met the man of her dreams, and because of her, I fell into my passion and my purpose, because I stopped fitness entirely when I started traveling. Dropped it. Nothing. And it rocked me for about 3 months last year, and I didn't have a purpose. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And I woke up, and, she helped me a lot in that, actually. All of my exes have helped me tremendously on my journey, and I'm extremely grateful for them. Like, I wouldn't be here without them, to be completely honest. All of them. And so she kind of helped me find my passion and purpose. And I realized, what do I talk about every day? What do I enjoy doing? And it was like, oh, you like talking about the heart. Even in fitness, I had a tagline, put some heart into it. Some of you guys may have seen my fucking tank top that I made. It's like my thing. So I was like, the heart. Okay, perfect. Fuck it. I'm the heart guy. Let's go. I'm just going to run in this direction. It feels right. I led a men's retreat out in Salt Lake City for a week. We had 15 guys there. It was a completely transformative, healing, fun experience. And I actually just got off the phone talking to a few of them from that retreat, and they've had huge breakthroughs. One of them just finished his own retreat. But anyway, from that, they gave me a lot of healing as well, and confirmation. They were like, dude, you're doing the right fucking thing. Like, this work, leading from the heart, it's what you fucking do. If it's more spiritual, if it's whatever, like, do it. So I was like, you know what? Like, yeah, this feels right. And mind you, while I was creating my fitness stuff, all of my good friends and people at the gym would ask me questions about love and relationships or about my situation because they knew I was reading books about it, and they would always ask. So I was kind of like the go-to person. And then even like I helped save to my friend's marriage. There was a long distance thing, and it was just kind of rocky, and I kind of intervened on it. And now they're very happily married, but they were about to split, and it was this whole thing. They were like, you need to do this as a career. You need to have a podcast, and you need to record your conversations. And I'm like, simmer down. I'm like, I don't know about all that. And so, you know, I had it in my mind that eventually I wanted to do relationship coaching. Eventually I wanted to pursue that. And because I was good at it and I knew it and I'm very knowledgeable in it, and obviously my own experience. And especially last year when I cut off that like clingy, chasey energy within myself. And I went to Hawaii after that last breakup, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to Hawaii. And I was there for a month and healed my heart. I found my heart. I got extremely clear with my vision. And then I had that men's retreat. And then I went to Australia and met some amazing people there. Again, very healing. And in all of that, I was like, you know, I'm on the right path. This is what I'm doing. But I also filled myself up. Like, I stopped looking for validation in other people. And I was with me. And I was okay with me. What's up, Kevon? And so, like, I was able to seek love in a different way than I ever had. I cut that bad habit because before, and I noticed it for the very first time in 5 years of studying relationship stuff and relationship dynamics, that I was seeking validation in other people. And I was trying to fill a void in me. And I was loving out of ego because I would choose emotionally unavailable or physically unavailable women because they were in a relationship or what the fuck ever. Because it matched my internal dialogue of, you're stupid, you can't do shit. Of all the shit from before that I was mentioning, right? It matched my dialogue in my head. And that's a lot of work that I do with my clients, by the way. We dive deep into your psychology because that's where it all stems from. It's not that I had a broken picker. I had a broken fucking head. I was beating myself up. And I wasn't accepting the truth of who I was in my heart. There was a disconnect between my head and my heart. And so I was choosing based on my subconscious. And so I finally aligned that. I also got certified in Reiki and energy healing, and I sought all that stuff out and everything. Yeah, I'm live streaming on my birthday. Big moves. This is what better day to tell my story than on my 25th freaking birthday, man. Come on now. I got like 25 minutes and I got dinner plans, but getting back to the story really fast to wrap it all up. So yeah, I launched The Heart Guy 209 days ago. How do I know? Because I started a podcast, a daily podcast, The Heartbeat, every single day. And that in and of itself has been a journey. Kevon, you know, he's helped me see gratitude in that tremendously. And so I started as more heart-centricness, kind of like life coaching, but lead from the heart, get out of your head type shit. And then episode 4 or 6, I can't remember, of The Heartbeat, I actually talked about masculine and feminine energy in terms of your heart and relationships. And guess what? Everyone and their mom started asking me questions about their relationships. And so I was like thinking in my head, you know, yeah, I don't know why I had this number, 7 years. Yeah, in 7 years, I'm going to do relationship coaching. Like, I'm only 24. Like, I don't have the right relationship yet. Like, I was giving myself all these excuses, right? And then the universe was like, no, you're doing this now, bitch. And so I just started answering your questions, and it very naturally grew to where we are today, where I'm still the Heart Guy. We got the Heart Gang represent, heartgang.com, by the way. And now I have I help people get more love in their life and intimate relationships. Whether you're in a relationship now, I do couples counseling, coaching, and I also help singles. If you have that cycle like I had, how to break that, whether it's attachment to your past or whether it's you're attracting the same person, different face, How do you break that cycle? And it really is. And I used to cringe at the phrase self-love. I used to be like, ugh, like, stab me. And I think it was because of the way people were portraying self-love online. And when I realized self-love is actually self-respect and honoring and living with integrity and from your heart and owning all of yourself, because love is acceptance, right? Like, to love is to accept, not to, what's the word? Allow, but to accept as reality. You know, Instagram, you guys are great. I should coach Lewis Howes, like all these things. I love you guys. Instagram and Facebook up at the same time, by the way, so that's why I keep looking 2 different places. Yeah, so that's what I do now, and I have a amazing clients. You guys are watching. I see some of you guys right now that have had tremendous transformations and continue to have tremendous transformations, and I'm just so grateful for where I'm at now. I'm super excited for what's coming this year with the Heart Gang and with the Heart Guy, which are kind of 2 different things. You'll see that in the future. But yeah, that's me. Basically, right now where it stands is I'm focusing on helping people who have these patterns. They're starting to become aware of those patterns, and they're like, something needs to change. And willpower alone doesn't change. You don't change self-love and self-respect by will, by force. Because how many times has your friend Sarah been like, I'm not gonna see that guy again, we're fucking done, and then 2 weeks later she's with the same guy? Because it happens through healing, which is a lot of different things. I'm not in a relationship now, partially by choice. I just moved into my apartment a few weeks ago, really grounding, stopped the whole nomad thing. Now I'm in Santa Monica in literally my dream apartment. And if you guys listen to The Heartbeat, today I talked about what happened yesterday with like a deservingness. I felt like I didn't deserve this life or helping so many people. Like, I was just overwhelmed because it seems so surreal. And especially when I got my apartment, everybody's like, if you deserve it, or if anybody deserves it, it's you. And I just had a giant question mark in my head when they said that. And a lot of people said it and still say it until probably yesterday or today, which is part of why I'm making this video. To share all the fucking struggles that I've gone through within myself and how many incredible people I've helped. Whether it's just people that are liking my shit, don't even fucking comment on it or share it. I've reached out to a few of you guys, especially on Instagram, and you guys have told me that it's actually changing your life. That to me just blows my fucking mind. I'm just living my life, sharing it from the heart, living from the heart, and being an example. And with all the people that I've helped inspire with fitness, or even with what I do now, I'm obsessed with helping people find love. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of my fucking life. And I'm only 25, so you got me for a lot longer, God willing. And this really is the ground floor, so I just want to say thank you for supporting me, for listening to this video. All the shares, all the comments, everything helps. And if you do want to look more into what I do, please reach out to me. I've got another program starting on Monday for group training. I'm always got room for one-on-one clients. Actually, I got like 3 more slots, and then I'm calling it quits because I want to have a life too. All right, I live in Santa Monica, where people travel from all over the world to come and visit. You best believe I'm gonna be on the beach every day. Yeah. That's really all I wanted to say. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you. And I wasn't expecting to get emotional today, but from a kid who was extremely crippled with shyness that sought validation and everything and was just trying to find approval and to get attention and to seek validation. to now I am on a mission to uncovering more of my truth in my heart and the truth and the heart of the world, and connect people with what truly matters. And that's what I'm on a mission to do. If you feel it's right, again, please reach out to me. I would love to work with you, or to see if it's even a fit if you want details. But that's my story. Cheer up. I'm crying because of gratitude, by the way. I'm extremely grateful for my life, and I deserve every fucking bit of this apartment. Because yesterday I didn't feel like I deserved it, but I fucking deserve it. I put in the fucking work. I didn't give up on myself, even when I was fucking homeless. Twice. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to go probably drink some tequila and get up at 5 a.m. to teach a group fitness class. Let's go! That's my life. I love you guys. Thank you again so much for listening. Please reach out to me. If you ever have any questions, I'm always here for you. And as always, go out there, put some heart into everything that you do today.